Hi everyone, my name is Ria. I am someone who has lost 70 pounds using GLPs. I am currently using Retatrutide and I wanted to document and share my journey with you. So I've got some notes that I will be looking at throughout this video, and I'm just going to be talking about myself and my weight loss and everything that I've been through. So the reason that I started taking Retta is a bit of a long story, and I'm sure it's a story that you might be able to relate to if you are taking GLP-1s. So I first started watching lots and lots of videos, educating myself on GLP-1s in general, pretty much as soon as Ozempic came out. So this was about 2024-ish is when I started noticing videos about GLP-1s. But at that time, it was only Ozempic out, and I would follow people who started taking the medication early on, and it just always interested me as I was always someone that worked out, did all of the right things, but I couldn't lose the weight. And that's because I had a lot of food noise and I was overeating, and I didn't realize it at all at the time. So I would spend my time on TikTok following these creators who were taking Ozempic, and then a little bit later on, Mounjaro came out, or Trizepatide, and I was just following loads and loads of creators who were on that journey, and I saw people with their amazing transformations and who were just singing its praises and saying that they had lost loads and loads of weight, and that was the best thing that they had ever done. However, I was still incredibly skeptical because it was a new medication at the time, and I just didn't want to rush into taking it. However, I had a medical emergency, you could call it, one day, and they did my bloods, and they did all of the tests, and basically my readings were really, really bad, especially for my age. So that kind of gave me a push to start taking GLPs. So I started off taking Ozempic through a pharmacy, and I did that for a couple of months, I believe. It worked really well for me. So in the first week, I remember I lost 4 pounds, and then in the second week, I lost, I think, 6 pounds. So I lost almost a stone in just 2 weeks. So it worked really well. However, quite quickly, I noticed Ozempic slowed down for me. So after that massive £10 loss, it was sort of like £1 to £2 a week. And because I did so well on it, and because I started feeling so good about it, I and about myself, I guess, I started doing more and more research, and then I decided to end my time with the pharmacy that I was using and go to a different pharmacy to get some Mounjaro. Now, Mounjaro, Trizepatide also worked really well for me, a lot better than Ozempic. So where I had stalled quite quickly, I would say maybe the first sort of like 6 weeks of Ozempic, I noticed a stall. The Trizepatide completely broke through that, and I was able to carry on losing huge amounts of weight finally, and I was so happy, so relieved. As I'm sure many of you can relate, I was just someone that had been desperate to lose weight and get healthy, but I just couldn't do it. However, what happened in, I can't remember when, maybe sort of mid to late 2025, the government put up the price of the Mounjaro medications, and it became very, very expensive for me. So I started looking for alternatives. So that's the kind of the first incident that pushed me to kind of look outside of mainstream clinics for this medication and go into what they call the grey market. And also, I was getting quite a few side effects from the Mounjaro. So last year in the UK, it was extremely hot. It was extremely hot this year as well. But because I was accidentally under eating, and my nutrition on this medication wasn't always perfect, and it still isn't, but I just tried my best. But because I was under eating at the time, I kind of had like a huge skin reaction. And it looked like psoriasis, but it's not psoriasis. It's some kind of eczema. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the name on the screen. And I was just doing some research of what I could do to combat this eczema that I had. It was all in my hair, all around my neck, everywhere. And I was going to the normal pharmacist, and nothing that they were giving me worked. I went to the doctor. He gave me a shampoo that kind of worked, but my skin was really bad. And I was doing some research on ChatGPT, of course, and they were like, there's this peptide called BPC 157, and it's really good for inflammation, and you seem to be having a reaction and your skin is very inflamed, and there is a peptide for your skin. So I talk to ChatGPT all the time. So it knew that I was on Mounjaro, and it kind of explained to me that Mounjaro is tirzepatide, and that is a peptide for weight loss, but there are also peptides for many other things. So there's a peptide for skin, there's a peptide for your hair and nails, there's a peptide to build muscle, there's a peptide for healing injuries, and so on and so on. And I fell down a massive rabbit hole, and I basically discovered the grey market. And I then discovered that the grey market were kind of like a step ahead of what we see in the mainstream and on the news of what is released to the public, in my opinion. However, these medications that are available out there are not FDA approved, so you have to be very careful. This is a bit of a minefield, getting a hold of them and stuff like that. But once I did get into taking different peptides, and I taught myself how to research different peptides, I kind of stumbled across a supplier that I trusted, and I then stumbled across this next generation of a GLP-1 that was significantly cheaper than what I was getting at the pharmacy. And from the research I had seen, is that it was kind of like the next step. So I kind of knew from before, when I took Ozempic to Mounjaro, that was kind of like the next generation of GLPs. So I understood that from Mounjaro tirzepatide into Retatrutide, that this would be the next generation of GLPs. And I personally just decided to be brave, to take the leap, because I had already had experience in taking different peptides that I will talk about later on my channel. And that is why I decided to take Reta, and it has been amazing for me. As you know, hopefully by now, this is what I looked like before, and this is what I look like after. So most of my 70-pound weight loss was due to Reta. The thing that I noticed the most on Retatrutide is that when I first started taking it, it didn't really work in the same way that Mounjaro did, and even Ozempic. So I found Mounjaro and Ozempic were really, really good appetite suppressants, and I remember taking them straight away, and the food noise was completely gone. However, for me on Retta, the food noise was still there, and for the first couple of weeks especially, I felt like it almost wasn't working, or that I was doing something wrong. And for me, it took a lot longer for it to build up in my system, and that's why some people take Retta and they don't really agree with it, or they think that it's not working, and so on, because it takes a while to kick in. But when it does kick in, it is extremely strong. For me, the food noise has completely gone, and it's even taken it to, I would say, like the next level. It's like, it's not, for me, it's not that the food noise has gone, but I feel like it's almost changed my brain chemistry. So I don't crave anything unhealthy. I don't I don't have any desire to overeat, and it kind of extends outside of just food. Like, it makes me just want the best for myself. So I want the best food, the best environment, the best relationships, the best gym routine, and it's kind of like flipped something in my brain to sort of rewire it to only crave what is good. And I literally crave fruits and vegetables now, and good sources of protein, and that's about it, and healthy carbs. And I have no interest in sweets. So I was someone that used to have a massive sweet tooth, and I would eat the Haribo snacks all of the time. That was my weakness, my vice, I guess. Because I never really smoked, or I was never really a big drinker or anything like that. So but sugar was what I love, so I don't crave sugar, crisps, chocolate, or anything like that. And I know that the Retta has helped me with that. And yeah, I have a completely different relationship with eating, and that has just changed everything for me. It's changed. Now that my body is lighter and that it's fueled properly, I can train better, and I can finally see those results. And the Retatrutide is obviously working on my hormones and on the fat cells and everything else, and it's hitting it from those 3 different angles at the same time. So it has worked really well for me. On this journey, I've had to deal with a lot of changes. So obviously, when you lose a significant amount of weight, like 70, I haven't lost 70 pounds yet. I've lost about 68 pounds, but I'm on the way to 70 pounds. I've had to get new clothes. My body has completely changed shape. I used to carry a lot of weight around my midsection, and I've worked really hard to try and target that stubborn area, and I have used other peptides alongside Retatrutide to do that. So let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about the other peptides that I've used to sort of target specific areas on my body. But yeah, my body shape has changed. My attitude and my mentality has changed. I'm much more consistent in the gym and with my routine, and with that, my general confidence has been boosted, and a lot of people have noticed the difference in me, especially people at work and friends that I've known for a long time, and family members and stuff like that. So it's quite a weird feeling getting in shape and having the body that I've always wanted. I feel like I'm still working towards my goal, but I'm well on the way towards the body that I have always wanted. And sometimes I look in the mirror and I look at photographs of myself that I take in the gym just for progress. And I can't quite believe that that is me, and my brain still is getting used to it. Um, it's starting to sink in that, this is me, this is my new body, my new lifestyle, and stuff like that. And that's why I started making these videos, to try and kind of like cement it in. But yeah, it's been a lot to get used to. Also, this is what I kind of talk about a lot on TikTok. I get a lot of attention now from people. So when I was in a bigger body, I was pretty much invisible. I wasn't treated the best by certain people, and stuff like that. And I was kind of at a low point, especially at my heaviest, where I was nearly 110 kilos, and I'm only 5'3". So I was a big girl, and I didn't realize how big I was, and I didn't realize how much my weight was affecting how people treated me. So now my relationships have done a complete 360. So I had a really negative group of friends at the time, and they're gone, and I've got a lot more positive people in my life. I had a string of like narcissistic toxic relationships back then, and now people treat me with a lot more kindness and a lot more respect, and a lot of people want to kind of like take me seriously romantically, but I'm in a point in my life now where I'm not focusing on romance or relationships at all. I just want to focus on getting towards my goal at the moment. It's always the irony when you don't want a relationship is when you get a lot more romantic attention. But I can definitely tell the difference in the caliber of people that I attract versus, before my weight loss transformation versus now. Same with people in work, and the way that they used to treat me. I kind of never really I never really thought that maybe my weight could affect the way people were treating me at work. But I also had a lot of problems in the past with like horrible bosses and stuff like that, and I had to change jobs and get into a whole new different industry. And now the industry I'm in is a lot better for me and my mental health, and people within my industry now are just treating me a lot better. So it really does just change everything. Side effects is something that I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really dealt with many side effects. I'm very, very careful when taking these medications, because again, I know that these are unapproved and not widely distributed for certain reasons. So I'm very, very careful in when I'm researching these peptides, and I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just sharing my experience and documenting my experience. But I've had little to no negative side effects of taking this medication. Sometimes I get a little bit of an upset stomach, and that is just when I haven't eaten enough, quite simply, or in the very beginning when I was kind of taking too high of a dose, because I didn't feel like the Reta was working straight away as quickly as the Trizepatide and the Ozempic was. So I think I went in with a little bit too high of a dose, and then when it kicked in, I kind of had some minor stomach issues that went away once I then adjusted and lowered my dose. But I know there are a lot of possible serious side effects that can come along with these peptides. So make sure that you do your proper research and you take the precautions to avoid those side effects. So make sure that you're eating enough, that you're eating healthy, not too many fats or fried food or alcohol and stuff like that. Make sure that you're drinking enough water, getting your electrolytes, and all of that stuff that you should be doing anyway on a health journey, and keeping the dose as low as possible. So that is my advice to anyone who is experiencing side effects from this medication. So yeah, that is my experience on Retatrutide so far. It's not a magic compound like none of these peptides are. We still have to do the work. I still have to go to the gym when I don't feel like it, and so on and so on. But I feel proud of myself. I feel really good. I'm really happy to be on this journey. I'm still learning. It's a bit of a hobby of mine at the moment, just like researching different peptides and their different effects and stuff like that. Oh, there's a fly in here, so annoying. And I feel proud of the progress that I have made, and I plan on continuing on in my journey and with this process, and I will document it all with you. So yeah, if you want to follow on in my journey, please subscribe. If you've got any questions, please let me know below, and I will see you again really soon in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.